Hello everyone, I'm Mr. E, and before this video starts, I just want to thank you guys for helping me hit 1,000 subs. I'll do a more proper thank you at the end of the video, but I just want to say that. If you're returning to my channel, then you've probably discovered it either through my Nintendo content or Fortnite content, and if you're new to my channel, well, that's what I mostly talk about on here. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a change that's so huge in the relation to the future of pop culture and the entertainment industry, and most people don't even realize it's happening. And this change is all because of one game, Fortnite. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to blow your mind. Real quick though, one more thing, don't forget to like and subscribe if while you're watching this video you determine that you want to see more content from me. I also got a supporter creator code that can be used in the Fortnite item shop in the Epic Games Store. It costs nothing extra to you and it supports me. So I'll have it up on the screen and also put it in the description. But enough talking, let's get into the video. Unless you're living under a rock, I'm sure all of you have heard of Fortnite before, whether it's because you play the game, know someone who's played it, or have seen memes about it floating around the internet. But just in case you haven't, the version of Fortnite most people are familiar with is the Battle Royale game where you and 99 other players compete to be the last player standing, and the story is told mostly in the background through end-of-season live events, start-of-season cinematic trailers, and quest dialogues that only show up for a few seconds, sometimes with voice acting and sometimes without. And I know a lot of you watching this video probably already know what Fortnite is about, but I just want to set the stage for the points in this video. The first teaser trailer for Fortnite was released back in 2011 and was part of an internal game jam at Epic Games, the creators of Fortnite. If you don't know, a game jam is basically an exercise or contest where creators make a game from scratch within a short period of time, and that's how the idea behind Fortnite came about, at least the save the world portion of the game. For those of you who might not be familiar with the game or are newer Fortnite players, Fortnite was originally a player versus environment or PvE game. Instead of battling other real players to be the last one standing, players played through missions against waves of undead creatures called husks, an attempt to save the world, as the name suggests, with gameplay style described as being a mix between shooting games like Left 4 Dead and Gears of War and building games like Terraria and Minecraft. After years of development, the game finally released as a paid-for early access on July 25th, 2017. However, this is when something interesting happened. A few months earlier, in March of 2017, a little game you might have heard of called PlayerUnknown's Battleground was released, otherwise known as PUBG. PUBG is another Battle Royale game and was inspired by the 2000 Japanese film Battle Royale. PUBG is also a Battle Royale game, but blew up in its popularity after its release, and within 3 months, 5 million copies of the game had been sold, also blowing up the popularity of the Battle Royale genre. And with that, the people over at Epic Games got inspired to hop on the Battle Royale train and created the Battle Royale game mode within 2 months' time. Within the first 2 weeks of release, gained 10 million players, and employees split into 2 teams, the Save the World team and Battle Royale teams. And this was just the start of Fortnite's conquest over the gaming industry, and also being one of the points for today's video, but not the main point. But we'll get to the main point eventually, so stay tuned. Over the years, Fortnite expanded. A little over a year after the release of Battle Royale came creative. In Fortnite's creative mode, players were able to make props such as buildings, furniture, and many other objects and build whatever type of game mode they wanted with certain limitations. Players made different game modes like death runs, tycoons, team deathmatch maps, and so many others, giving a little bit of something for everyone. Maybe you didn't like Battle Royale, so you played the Save the World mode to fight some zombies, but maybe you didn't exactly like the mechanics in Save the World, so instead you just could play a zombies type game mode in creative. The possibilities were mostly limitless, and with creative, I of course have to talk about competitive Fortnite. Before the release of creative, players had to play against other players in the Battle Royale mode. There wasn't really any means of practicing in a private match or anything like that games like Call of Duty had. With creative though, players went into private islands and practiced their skills for hours on end, truly learning the technical mechanics of the game. Their aim improved and their building and editing skills improved drastically. Most players weren't building forts on top of mountains anymore. They started rushing up to their opponents, cranking 90s to get high ground, boxing them up, and eliminating them like fish in a barrel. With all these new pro players, tournaments took off and drew in a crowd of fans to the game. Fans who saw all their favorite streamers and YouTubers compete and earn a bunch of money and wanted to do the same. And around the time COVID happened, a ton of kids had to stay home, and their skills and playing ability skyrocketed, turning the game into one of the sweatiest and most competitive games of all time. But not everyone could keep up and gave up on the game. People like me who still had to go to work and didn't have the time or desire to sit in creative mode practicing for 2, 5, 8 hours a day. I never stopped playing Fortnite, but definitely got tired of seeing all the sweats and got a little burnt out. I know friends of mine who were there in Fortnite's early days stopped playing, and a lot of YouTubers I watch quit Fortnite too, just because of the loss of the simple magic everyone loved about the game. Now the game was all about trying as hard as possible and got super cringy for others. But that wasn't forever. 5 years into Fortnite's lifespan, building got vaulted, the main mechanic that made Fortnite unique, completely gone. This was the introduction of the Zero Build mode. Zero Build brought players as close as possible to the Fortnite they started on. When the game first came out, everyone played super carefully and barely anyone built except for the occasional ramp to scale a mountain or a 1x1 hut to camp out in. Players now had to relearn how to play the game and maneuver the island without some sweaty kid using 1500 mats in the span of 5 seconds to kill one person. It's pretty much a breath of fresh air for everyone, and a little bit later became a separate game mode from the build mode. Players can be competitive, sweat and build as much as they want in Battle Royale, and have more casual fun like old times in Zero Build. And there's also the arena and now ranked modes that people could play in as well. But I should mention one of the main features that almost always brought players back to the game. It's constant evolution. If you take a look at games like Call of Duty, you pretty much have the same $60, $70 game every year, with, in my opinion, very little innovation between the games. Fortnite takes a different approach and has always been one free game, with multiple seasons and chapters switching the game up. Every few months a new season would release, with map changes being added to the game, such as a snow biome or desert biome, and new locations being added to these biomes as well, with new items, weapons, vehicles, and skins being added all the time. Limited time modes like Floor is Lava, Imposters, and Air Royale even came to the game from time to time, giving players something different to do. And every couple of years, now recently once a year, the whole map would change, shaking things up even more. Player counts always increased during these big changes and always kept the game fresh so players wouldn't get bored. That's one of the reasons why Fortnite is still popular and still growing its player base to this day, almost 7 years after its release. And a little shameless self-promotion here, Fortnite's map changes are always tied to the storyline. For example, in Chapter 4 Season 2, a Japanese-inspired biome came to the island with a huge POI called Mega City. That was due to the actions of a couple characters named Evie and Jules in the story, and you found that out doing storyline quests. On my channel, I cover all the lore and explain how the map changes come about, so make sure to check out the playlist I'll have linked in this video. In 2023, 5 years after the release of Creative Mode, Fortnite released UEFN, which stands for Unreal Engine Fortnite, otherwise known as Creative 2.0. With UEFN, the possibilities of Creative Mode became pretty much limitless, except for the island memory limit. But basically, you can code whoever you want into Fortnite Creative Mode, and also put in homemade assets into the game. You can turn Fortnite into a super realistic game, can turn it into Flappy Bird, even put Minecraft building mechanics into the game. I've seen maps ranging from simple, non-inspired red vs. blue and tycoon maps that everyone makes, to super creative horror maps. The European Space Agency recently teamed up with Hassel Studio, Buendia, and Team Power to make a UEFN map that lets you build a lunar habitat on the moon. This is something I'll come back to in a bit though, but it's also huge for Fortnite's future. Shortly after the release of UEFN, with the launch of Chapter 5, Fortnite launched 3 new modes: Festival, Rocket Racing, and Lego. These aren't limited like Floor is Lava, but are designed to be mainstays in Fortnite. Harmonix, the company that created Guitar Hero and Rock Band, created Fortnite Festival, a rhythm game like Rock Band in Fortnite. The people who made Rocket League also created Rocket Racing, and if you have cars in Rocket League, you can use those in Rocket Racing once everything gets properly ported over. And Lego is a survival crafting mode like Minecraft, giving all your favorite skins a Lego style to play as. And on top of all that, UEFN was recently enabled for Rocket Racing and Lego, letting players make their own Rocket Racing and Lego game modes. Plus, it was recently announced that Fall Guys is coming to Fortnite, and it's hinted that a sports mode is coming in the future. And, if you haven't heard, Disney recently purchased ownership in Epic Games. We don't know too much about the collaboration yet, but it appears Fortnite will have some type of virtual Disney World similarly to Wreck-It Ralph 2, and according to Disney's website, players will be able to play, watch, shop, and engage with content, characters, and stories from Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, Avatar, and more. This is all of Epic Games' plan to turn Fortnite into a metaverse. They're evolving Fortnite past the game into a place where you can do whatever you want. In Fortnite, you'll be able to play whatever type of game you want, interact with people, and virtually do pretty much anything you can conceive of. It's a concept Mark Zuckerberg initially created, if I'm not mistaken, but hasn't really done much with it. With the amount of content and collaborations Fortnite has, it could easily turn into something like Ready Player One in the future. I know a lot of people complain about the metaverse concept due to people at Epic Games pushing that more than the actual story that Fortnite has and not really focusing too much on gameplay and stuff like that. But it's kind of in its early stages, so I guess we'll just have to see how that all turns out. But back in December, Fortnite hit its highest player count of all time with over 11.5 million players, so the game is far from dying. Well, that was true when I was originally writing this, but a newer point came out recently with the release of Chapter 5 Season 3. The player count dropped a bit. There's a few factors that probably contributed to that, like the burnout from the previous season, or people simply not enjoying the new season. Personally, I loved the new season when it dropped. It was a huge change of pace with you being able to drive cars around with mounted turrets and eliminate players that way, but most of the sweats didn't like that and made it harder for their playstyle, while making things easier for the casual playstyle. So Epic Games listened to the sweats and nerfed everything, pretty much ruining the whole point of this season. This is my little rant portion of the video, by the way, all my opinion. So once the nerfs went through, pretty much nobody was happy. The casuals lost all the fun stuff, and the stuff that was still in the game, even though it's pretty pointless now, was still discouraging all the sweats. So because of this, Epic Games worked their magic and within the span of a month created the reload mode, which put players on a smaller version of the Chapter 1 map with mostly OG and simple weapons, no cars, and the ability to automatically respawn after being eliminated so long as your teammates are still alive. It's very similar to the Rebirth Island mode from Call of Duty with how I understand it. I've never really played that before, but with this new mode, player counts skyrocketed again, and even though I'm not a sweaty player, I absolutely love this new mode and have been playing it more than regular Fortnite, along with a lot of other players. It had over 1 million players within the first 30 minutes, which surpassed all the other modes combined, but all that just goes to show how Epic Games constantly is adding new stuff and changing things to appease as many players as possible. But now I have to talk about the main point of this video that I've been avoiding to until this point. The collaborations. Fortnite has had so many different collaborations over the years, it's very difficult to keep track of them all. Within the first year of release, Fortnite had collaborations with Twitch where you could watch streamers and get a free skin, had a collaboration with Avengers Infinity War where you could play as Thanos and use the Infinity Gauntlet to stamp away your enemies. The biggest collabs come from the near 400 collaboration skins in the game, with over 60 being Marvel characters. I'm sure at least one of your favorite franchises are in the game. There's skins from older movies, big blockbusters, TV shows, comics, books, and other video games. There's a bunch of celebrities including streamers, YouTubers, and athletes as well, with musicians having skins in the game, and actors playing original Fortnite characters as well. There's even skins and collaborations with car brands, clothing brands, and sports leagues too. Stepping away from skins, there's collaborations with the creative maps like Nike, Coca-Cola, and the previously mentioned European Space Agency. Fortnite has been used to debut one of Coke's limited time flavors, the Bite flavor, and it's even been used to debut music videos and show off movie trailers. One of the big things Fortnite has done is with their concert events, with the musicians like Marshmello, Travis Scott, Ariana Grande, and Eminem. In each festival season, a different celebrity is the main focus, like The Weeknd, Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish, and now Metallica. Lots of artists have their music playable in festival mode, along with radio stations and Battle Royale. I also found out recently that every time someone plays a song in Fortnite Festival, it counts as a music stream. The Weeknd passed Taylor Swift in streams in December because of Fortnite, so tons of musicians are pushing to get their music in Fortnite now. Everyone wants to get in on the Fortnite hype because of how big it's gotten, and it's going to keep on expanding. Someday you might be in Fortnite, and that brings me to the main point of the video, the whole concept that wanted me to make this video in the first place, the storyline and the Omniverse. In lore, Fortnite is set on an island in the center of the Omniverse, Reality Zero. This is the in-continuity reason explaining why collaboration skins are in the game. Now, the average person might say that the collaborations are non-canonical, as seen with other games, but Fortnite usually has a reason for their collabs and occasionally will acknowledge they're part of the story. The main instance we got of this is in Chapter 2, Season 5. One of the main characters, John Jonesy Jones, is a member of the group known as the Imagined Order. They control the island and force characters to fight in a 22-minute time loop, or more commonly known as a match, in Fortnite. In the season before that, Galactus from the Marvel Universe came to the island and damaged the Zero Point, the massive source of energy at the center of the Omniverse that was being contained under the island. The characters trapped in the loop, known as loopers, were trying to use the opportunity to escape the loop, so Jonesy was tasked to stop them. He traversed the Omniverse and brought many notable bounty hunters, heroes, and villains to the island to stop the loopers from escaping. Some notable ones are Din Djarin, otherwise known as the Mandalorian from Star Wars, the Terminator, Ellen Ripley from the Alien franchise, Daryl and Michonne from The Walking Dead, Ryu and Chun-Li from Street Fighter, and tons of others with accompanying audio logs he recorded during his travels, talking about being in the DC Universe and God of War universe, to name a couple. So now, I'm sure you can see how these crossovers are canonical to the Fortnite storyline, but you might be skeptical on if they're canonical to their respective storylines. Like, obviously Galactus came to the Fortnite island, but which Galactus? Marvel has a multiverse, so they could just use it as an out to say it was an alternate universe Galactus that came to the island. But that isn't the case. In the 2020 Thor run, Galactus appeared to Thor and asked him for help to consume worlds. In the comic, one panel specifically mentions that the entirety of the Marvel Fortnite season takes place in between two of the panels, confirming it's canon to the main 616 Marvel comic universe. On top of that, the crossover was further established as canon to the main universe in multiple other comic issues, like with the Wolverine comic, Guardians of the Galaxy comic, and the X-Factor comic, and shed a little more light on the crossover with the Nexus War single-issue comic. Years later, Fortnite characters and Marvel characters would come together in the 5-issue Fortnite x Marvel Zero War comic run, greatly expanding the Fortnite storyline. DC and Fortnite did something similar and had a 6-issue run called Batman Zero Point and the single-issue Batman Foundation comic. These ones also use the Prime Earth continuity in DC, not just some random alternate universe, although alternate universe counterparts have appeared in Fortnite, both from DC and Marvel. But recently there's a connection I wasn't expecting that blew my mind. Recently in Fortnite, characters from the hit Amazon show Invincible came to the game. And while I was excited for that as I had been watching the show, in Season 2 of Invincible, spoiler alert by the way, Mark Grayson, the titular Invincible, was fighting against a character with abilities to traverse the Omniverse, Angstrom Levy. In the comics, he sends Mark to the Marvel and DC universes, and in Season 2, he sends Mark through a portal, and when Mark emerges from the portal, he returns with a Dragon's Breath sniper from Fortnite. And it was confirmed Mark traveling to the Fortnite island was canon to both the game and TV show by the show's creator. That moment got my brain going and was the reason I realized I wanted to make this video, because not only is Fortnite taking over by becoming every genre of game and pulling in tons of players and collaborations, it's taking over by being at the center of every fictional universe. If you don't know what the Omniverse is, it's a collection of every multiverse. DC has a multiverse and Marvel has a multiverse. They're fairly self-contained, but both exist in the Omniverse, which, like I said, contains every multiverse, even our own technically. By Fortnite being at the center of the Omniverse, it is at the center of every franchise and story ever told. You want to go watch the new Marvel movie? Well, it's actually a Fortnite movie because it's a small part of Fortnite's storyline. The new Dune movie? Dune characters appear in Fortnite, so that's part of Fortnite's storyline. Halo? That's actually a Fortnite side story game. It's such a bold and arrogant move on Fortnite's part, but honestly I kinda love it. There's been numerous times where damage to the Zero Point in Fortnite has sent reality waves out, affecting the rest of the Omniverse, so actions that happen in-game can have an effect on a random franchise when you're least expecting it. And with Fortnite's ever-growing popularity, you'll see more and more franchises wanting to join in on the story, and I wouldn't be surprised if one day we'll see Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man team up with Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator, Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the Foundation in a huge live-action Fortnite movie one day, like Spider-Man Far From Home, but on an unfathomably larger scale. Especially since Fortnite's former lore master and chief creative officer, Donald Mustard, recently joined up with the directors of Avengers Endgame, Joe and Anthony Russo, and their AGBO production company. Just something to think about. But since you guys have stuck around this long, at least I hope you have, I just want to thank you for watching. At the time I started writing this script, I had 773 subscribers, and by the time I originally recorded this video, I was at 909 subscribers, and now I'm over 1,000. Just giving you guys a timeline on how long it takes to make these videos, and you can also see how fast I've been growing. I wanted to make this video to coincide with me hitting 1,000 subscribers. I really started making videos on this channel back in October of last year, 2003, and that's only half a year's time, and in April I got over 200 subscribers, which is just crazy to me. But you might be asking, why make this video as a 1,000 subscriber special? Well, as you might be able to tell, Fortnite is the reason my channel took off, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's basically a childhood dream come true. Lots of kids have different toys from multiple brands and franchises and act out scenes in their heads with these toys, like Batman and Power Ranger action figures fighting alongside Transformers and G.I. Joe action figures. And with Fortnite's ever-expanding roster of characters, you can have an official crossover between all your favorite franchises. An interview with Donald Mustard came out recently and talked about how his vision of Fortnite was to make a game where you can hang out with your friends and express yourself how you want. Something similar to kids playing in a sandbox with action figures, so like Spider-Man, Batman, and Barbie can all interact with each other. And I thought that was really cool to hear him say, considering that's the same way I've always viewed Fortnite too, and that's why I like it so much. Growing up, all my favorite TV episodes were the crossover ones, and I loved all the crossover games. From Nickelodeon, you had the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour and Nicktoons Unite. Cartoon Network games had Fusion Fall, Envelopes Please, and Cartoon Summer Resort. The Kids Next Door and Billy Mandy crossover episode, along with CN City commercial bumpers. And Disney had all the Lilo and Stitch crossover episodes, and Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana, and That's So Raven / Wizards of Waverly Place crossovers, along with Kingdom Hearts. And then Nintendo had Super Smash Bros, of course, which is another favorite of mine. I don't know, I'm just a sucker for crossovers, I guess. There's just something intriguing about seeing characters interact with other characters they normally wouldn't, and it just shifts the storytelling around and brings a new dynamic to the medium they're in. But I just wanted to use this video as an excuse to talk about all the possibilities Fortnite has in store for the future and crazy things to expect from the game. Since I've hit 1,000 subs, I did get a supporter creator code like I said at the start of this video. Again, you guys can use it in the Fortnite item shop and Epic Games Store to support me. Every time you make a purchase, a portion of the funds go to me rather than Epic Games, and it's just one way to support me and help the channel grow. The long-awaited Midas video will be the next main video I have, and a decent portion of the script is already written, so be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, between videos, you can catch me streaming here on YouTube multiple times a week, streaming Nintendo games on weekends currently and Fortnite on other days. I'm trying to play through as many different Nintendo franchises on the channel, and Metroid is the one I started with, and I'm doing some Mario stuff now, so pop in and say hi. While I was writing the script, I came across a news article that Super Metroid is Donald Mustard's favorite game and one of the big inspirations for Fortnite, so I thought that was pretty crazy and a cool coincidence and just wanted to mention it. And also, if you guys aren't aware, I have a second channel where I post content to called Mr. E. Technically, I count this one as my second channel and that one as my main one, since that's Mr. E and this one's Mr. E Gaming, even though this one is more popular currently. But if you guys want more content from me, go subscribe to that channel. The link will be in the description of this video, as well as on the homepage of this channel. It mainly deals with mysteries, conspiracies, historical events, and the like, and my most recent video I posted was about a group of cryptids called the Fearsome Critters, so go check it out. So make sure you have the bell rung on that channel so you don't miss out on more content, with the Fearsome Critters follow-up video and World Fair video being the next for that channel. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and share the channel with your friends to help the channel grow. The next big milestone I'm shooting for is 10,000 subs, which could take a few years to get to, but I'm here for it and excited for this journey. We're just getting started, and I have a ton in store for you guys in the future on both channels. Be sure to comment your thoughts on this video and give me ideas or requests for future videos and streams, whether they be things I can improve on or games to cover. Sincerely, I thank you guys one more time for helping me grow so fast, and I'll see you in the next one.